Okay, I really like living above a bar. It's actually a lot of fun. I love living uptown, restaurants. I feel like I can just go downstairs and go anywhere.
One of the best things about living above a restaurant is that during the winter months, we don't have to pay for heat. The heat just comes up from the establishment below. It definitely lowers our utility bills during the winter.
Sometimes it's annoying because we share the same ventilation system, so sometimes we get food odors in our apartment.
The noise, I'm in the front of the building, so I hear a lot of what's happening at the bar. Also, I hear people out on the street who are possibly in line waiting for the bar.
And lack of green space and lack of natural light in our apartment is another big issue for me because I like the outdoors a lot. I live in the far back room and it faces the alley, and so in the morning there's a lot of delivery trucks and sometimes trash trucks that make some noise. Last weekend the business below us did catch on fire, so that was a little bit scary.
One time the restaurant below us flooded and our water was turned off for almost 6 hours until the problem was fixed.
One thing that I really like about living in a house is that I live with 5 of my best friends, so it's really fun. I always have someone to hang out with. I always have someone to watch TV with or eat with or whatever, so that's always a really nice thing about living in a house with more people than you would have in an apartment.
And being a business student, it was a little bit more convenient for me to get to the business school, being in the house on North Campus.
I live in a house near a police station, which can be kind of difficult because they oftentimes give us a lot of littering violations, and we also have to be really conscientious of our noise level, especially at night.
One of the best things about our house is that we have a huge lawn and a nice porch and a big porch swing. So it's just fun for us to sit outside and enjoy the yard space.
In my off-campus house, I live with 6 other girls next to an Oxford resident, and he's an elderly man. So we have to be really considerate of him because he's obviously lived here longer than us. But it is a really good location, but it's just some.
I signed an individual lease instead of a joint lease, which is nice because I'm not responsible for the rest of the house. And if something was to happen, like one of the other girls was not to pay their lease, then they would all be responsible instead of me.
This semester, one of my housemates wanted to adopt a puppy, and after reviewing our lease, we figured out that we weren't allowed to. So those are just some of the things you kind of have to think about when you sign your lease, and that's why it's a good thing to save the lease so you can refer back to it.
Parking is a pretty big challenge. We've only allocated 1 space for the 3 cars that we have. Luckily, we've been able to somehow find a way to fit 2 in it, but we have to definitely compromise when it comes to parking.
When I was looking for a roommate to live off campus at Miami, I chose someone who had the same schedule as me, who, we like to get up in the morning early, go to bed at a decent hour, and then we're both pretty tidy. So, we talked about it beforehand and it's worked out really well.
When I was looking for a roommate, I wanted to find someone that I could trust. So that's why I chose my roommate, who I've known since freshman year.
The problem we had with signing our lease was that you had to do it 2.5 years too early. You're not even done with freshman year yet, and you're already picking the girls you want to live with, and it's causing drama within your sorority, it's causing drama everywhere, and then people end up having to live with just these random people that they picked.
One thing that was kind of difficult for me with signing the lease was that I live in a house with 6 girls, and 3 out of the 6 of us studied abroad, me being one of them. So we all unfortunately had to pay for our rent while we were studying abroad because our housemates didn't want other random girls living with them, or boys, potentially. It was kind of a burden for my parents to have to pay for my rent while I was also paying to study abroad in Spain.
When studying abroad, I really lucked out because I partnered up with someone else who was studying abroad the opposite semester as me, and this made it so I didn't have to pay rent while I wasn't living in the house.
Signing way too early. It's just the end of your freshman year going into your sophomore year, and you're already thinking about a house when you have to live in the corridor a whole nother year. I think it's just too much pressure and too much on freshmen. But I know of people that it has affected because they might not be friends with those people anymore and things have changed. I still think it's too early to sign.
For some people you get lucky, I love my housemates now, but I really didn't know them that well at the time, and I know some people that just don't even ever like where they live, and this is, the prime time of college, junior, senior year, you gotta live with the people you want to be with, like, these are your best friends for the rest of your life. So that's my argument, but